Eli sat in the cockpit of his small ship as it flew through the vast black space. The stars shone like tiny lights, and far away, a blue and green planet grew larger in his window. This was the planet Veridra, the home of the alien Queen Leora. Eli's mission was clear but not easy. He had to reach the Queen, offer peace, and show that humans could be strong friends to her people. Eli was a pilot and engineer from Earth. He knew how to fix machines and solve problems quickly. His crew trusted him because he stayed calm even when things looked hard. The people on Earth hoped this meeting would start a new friendship with the aliens of Veridra. But Eli also knew the Queen's people did not like strangers. They guarded their planet well and did not welcome visitors. As the ship came closer to the planet, Eli checked the control panels. Suddenly, an alarm beeped loudly. The shield system of the ship was flickering. Something was wrong. Eli's heart beat faster. He quickly scanned the controls and found a small broken circuit. If he did not fix it, the ship would not be safe near the alien planet. Eli took a small toolkit from under his seat. With careful hands, he opened the panel and started repairing the circuit. His fingers moved fast but steady. The ship shook slightly as it entered the planet's atmosphere. Outside, strange shapes floated in the sky. Alien ships guarding the area. Eli finished the repair and tested the shield again. The light turned green. The ship was ready. He breathed a little easier. The landing was smooth. The ship touched the ground softly on a large platform made of shining metal. Eli stepped out and looked around. The air smelled fresh but different from Earth. Tall buildings rose in the distance. Strange plants with colors Eli had never seen grew nearby. Before he could move, several tall alien guards appeared. They had green skin and sharp eyes. Their faces were hard to read, but their weapons showed they were serious. Eli raised his hands slowly to show he meant no harm. A loud voice came from a device in their chest. It spoke in a language Eli did not understand. One guard stepped forward and looked at Eli closely. Then, a translator in Eli's suit started working. The guard said, "You are not welcome here. Leave now or face the Queen's judgment." Eli did not move. He said in a clear voice, "I come as a friend. I want to meet the Queen and talk about peace." The guards whispered among themselves. After a moment, one of them said, "Follow." "Yes, the Queen will decide." Eli followed the guards through tall halls filled with glowing lights. The walls showed images of the Queen's history. She was a strong leader who had kept peace for many years. But the stories also spoke of battles and dangers from other planets. Finally, Eli was brought before the Queen. She sat on a high throne, made of shining crystals. Her eyes were large and deep blue. Her hair flowed like silver light. She looked at Eli with calm but sharp interest. "You are human," she said in perfect common language. "Your kind has never succeeded so quickly on Veridra before." Eli nodded. "I want to help. I have skills that may be useful to your people." The Queen studied him for a long moment. Then she said, "We will test you. If you can solve a problem for us, you may prove your value." Suddenly, an alarm went off in the room. The Queen's ship was having serious problems. Its engine was failing and no one could fix it. Eli asked to see the ship. The Queen agreed, and he was led to the large vessel nearby. The ship looked like a giant insect, with many shining parts and strange shapes. Eli examined the engine room carefully. He saw wires and tubes tangled in ways he had never seen before. The other aliens looked confused and worried. Eli touched a broken power line. He smiled to himself. This was a problem he could solve. Using tools from his kit, Eli began to work. He connected wires, replaced parts, and made adjustments. The aliens watched silently. After some time, the engine began to hum steadily. The lights on the ship shone bright again. The Queen's engineers came to check. Surprised at Eli's success, Leora returned to her throne and looked at Eli with wide eyes. "You fixed what we thought impossible," she said. "How did you do it so quickly?" Eli shrugged and said, "I just used what I know and worked carefully. Sometimes fresh eyes see what others miss." The Queen smiled faintly. "You have surprised me, human. Perhaps your kind is stronger than I believed." Eli felt a small hope rise inside him. Maybe this mission would succeed after all. But he also knew the real challenge was only beginning. After Eli fixed the Queen's ship engine, the alien court began to look at him differently. The Queen, Leora, called a meeting with her closest advisors. They whispered quietly, unsure what to think about this human who showed skill so quickly. Eli stayed in the palace, watching the strange ways of the alien world. The buildings were tall and shiny, with smooth curves and glowing lights. The people moved with calm grace, but also with a watchful eye. No one wanted to trust outsiders easily. Leora decided to test Eli more. She gave him a small device, broken and old, that her people had tried for years to repair. Eli took the device in his hands. It was a tool used to control the planet's energy grid. A very important system. The alien engineers had tried many times, but the device would not work. Eli looked at the parts closely. He used tools from his kit and started to work. He cleaned the small wires, replaced broken circuits, and carefully connected everything. The aliens stood by, watching silently. They had never seen a human work. With such patience and focus, after some time the device began to glow softly. Lights on the panel lit up one by one. The energy grid responded. The room filled with a quiet hum of power flowing smoothly. Leora's advisors were surprised. One of them said, "How does your kind fix what ours cannot?" Eli smiled and said, "We try many ways. Sometimes we find new ideas by looking at old problems again." The Queen nodded slowly. She began to think that humans might bring value beyond strength or fighting skill. Their minds worked in ways different from her people. To learn more, Leora sent her aide Mara to watch Eli. Mara was young and curious, with bright green eyes and soft voice. She followed Eli quietly as he moved through the palace and the city. Outside, Eli spoke gently to Mara, asking questions about her world. Mara told him about the history of Veridra, the wars they had fought, and the peace Leora had kept for many years. Eli shared stories of Earth. He told Mara about the oceans, the mountains, and the many kinds of people who lived there. He spoke of the challenges humans faced, like sickness, war, and hard work. Mara listened carefully. She had never thought much about humans before. Now she began to see them as more than strange creatures from far away. As days passed, Eli and Mara spent more time together. They worked on small projects, fixing machines and learning from each other. Mara helped Eli understand alien technology, and Eli taught her some basic human tools and ideas. One afternoon, as they sat near a river that glowed with soft blue light, Mara said, "I did not think your kind could help us so much. You are different from what I expected." Eli looked at her and smiled. "Maybe we are all different, but that does not mean we cannot be friends." Mara felt warmth inside. She began to believe that the future could hold something new between their peoples. Back in the palace, Leora watched their growing friendship with interest. She saw how her court began to change. Some of her advisors were still doubtful, but many were curious about the humans. Leora spoke with Eli again. She asked him about his world and his people. Eli told her how humans survived by working together, learning from mistakes, and never giving up. The Queen was quiet for a moment. Then she said, "Your success is fast. You bring new hope, but also new questions. How will your people handle a place so different from Earth?" Eli answered, "We have many problems, but we learn quickly. We want peace and friendship with you." Leora nodded slowly. She decided to give Eli a chance to prove himself more. She gave him access to the city's technology center, where many machines and systems needed care. Eli worked with the engineers, sharing his knowledge. He helped fix broken systems, improved power flows, and made machines run smoother. The aliens began to respect him not just for his skills, but for his kind and patient ways. Mara stayed by Eli's side, learning and helping. Their friendship grew stronger. They talked about hopes and fears, and the possibility of a future where humans and Veridrans could live in peace. But in the back of Eli's mind, he knew there were dangers. Rival groups on the planet did not want peace. They wanted power and control. Eli had to be ready for what might come next. Eli and Mara spent many days working together in the technology center. Eli showed how to use human tools in new ways. Mara taught him more about Veridran machines. The two learned from each other, building a quiet friendship. One day, while they fixed a damaged energy converter, Mara said, "You are very patient, Eli. Our people do not always have time to wait." "They want quick answers," Eli smiled. "Sometimes slow work leads to better results. You cannot rush everything." Mara looked at Eli thoughtfully. "You see the world in a different way?" Eli nodded. "That is why I want to help. Maybe our ways together can make things better." Their work caught the attention of the alien queen Leora. She saw that Eli's skill and calm made her people curious. Even some of the advisors who had doubted Eli began to change their minds. Leora called Eli to her palace once more. She wanted to know how the humans solved problems so fast. Eli said, "Humans work hard and we do not give up easily. We try many ideas and learn from mistakes. That is how we grow strong." The queen listened closely. She was beginning to understand that humans had more to offer than she thought, but life on Veridra was not always peaceful. Unknown to Eli, some rival groups watched from shadows. They did not want Leora to trust humans. These groups wanted war and control. One evening, Mara came to Eli with worry in her eyes. "There are people who do not like you here. They may try to hurt you or the queen." Eli felt a chill. "We must be careful. I want to help, but I must stay safe too." Mara agreed. "I will watch your back. You are not alone." Together they prepared for possible trouble. Eli helped strengthen the palace's defenses by using his knowledge of Earth security systems. Mara helped train the guards to use new tactics. Then, one night, a sudden attack came. The rival group sent ships to strike the palace and the city. Alarms rang loudly. The queen's warriors rushed to defend their home. Eli stood with Mara and the soldiers, ready to help. Using his quick mind, Eli directed the defenders. He suggested ways to block enemy ships and protect key places. The new weapons he helped create fired with power. The attackers were surprised by the strong defense. The battle was hard and long. Mara fought bravely beside Eli. The queen's people pushed the invaders back. Finally, the enemy ships retreated. The palace and city were safe. Leora stood in front of her people. She looked at Eli with respect. "You helped save Veridra. Your strength and wisdom surprised us all." Eli felt proud but also tired. He had done what he came for, but more challenges lay ahead. The queen offered Eli a high honor for his bravery and skill. This was something no human had ever received before. Eli bowed his head. "Thank you, Your Majesty. I only want peace and friendship between our worlds." The queen smiled. "Then let us work together for a better future." After the battle, the palace was quiet but filled with a new energy. The queen's people talked about Eli and how a human helped save their world. Some who once doubted him now showed respect. Others were still unsure, but the air had changed. Eli stayed close to Mara and the queen. He worked on improving the city's defenses and machines. He shared ideas from Earth about how to make life safer and easier. One morning, Leora called Eli to her private chamber. The queen's face was serious but kind. "Eli," she said, "your help was great, but the war has made many people afraid. We need peace, not only between our peoples but within our own world." Eli listened carefully. "I understand, Your Majesty. Peace is hard but important. We must help each other." Leora nodded. "I want to make a formal alliance between Veridra and Earth. This will help us share knowledge and protect each other." Eli smiled. "That is good. I will help make it happen." The queen sent Eli and Mara to meet with the council of Veridran leaders. The council was full of strong voices and different opinions. Some did not trust humans, fearing new problems. Others saw the chance for peace and growth. Eli spoke calmly. "I know your fears. Humans are not perfect, but we want to build a future together. Our skills and ideas can help your world." Mara added, "I have seen Eli's work and his heart. He is honest and he cares about our people." After long talks, the council agreed to start an alliance with Earth. The queen and Eli signed the treaty in a great ceremony. The people cheered, hoping for better days. As the days passed, Eli and Mara grew closer. They spent time exploring the city and the strange forests outside. They shared stories, dreams, and hopes. One evening, by the glowing river, Mara said softly, "I did not expect to find a friend like you here, Eli." Eli smiled. "I did not expect it either. Maybe our worlds are not so different." The Queen watched from a distance, feeling hope for the future, but even as peace grew, shadows still moved. Rival groups were quiet but watching. Eli knew that the journey was not over. New tests and dangers awaited. Yet with trust and friendship, humans and Veridrans had taken the first step toward a new beginning. The peace treaty brought calm to the planet, but Eli knew the calm would not last forever. The rival groups were still out there, watching and waiting for a chance to strike. Eli and Mara worked together to prepare for whatever might come. Eli spent many hours with the Queen's warriors and engineers. He taught them how to use new tools and weapons. The warriors trained harder, and the engineers improved the city's defenses. Eli's ideas made the alien technology stronger and smarter. One day, while Eli and Mara were checking the outer defenses, they heard a warning. Enemy ships were coming again. This time, the attackers were larger and better armed. The rival group wanted to destroy the peace and take control. The city prepared for battle. The Queen's warriors stood ready, and Eli helped plan the defense. He suggested new tactics based on his knowledge of Earth's battles and machines. The attack began with a loud roar. Ships filled the sky, firing weapons that lit up the night. The defenders fought bravely. Eli directed the fighters, using his quick mind to find weak points in the enemy lines. Mara fought beside him, strong and brave. They moved through the battlefield together, helping those who were hurt and guiding the defenders. The battle was long and hard. Many lives were lost, but the defenders never gave up. Eli's new weapons helped break through the enemy ships. The attackers began to lose ground. Finally, the enemy retreated. The city was safe once again. After the battle, Leora called Eli and Mara to the palace. She looked tired but proud. "You have done well," she said. "Your courage and wisdom saved Viridra again." Eli nodded. "We fought together. That is what matters." The Queen smiled. "Your people have proven they are true friends." The alliance grows stronger. In the days that followed, Eli helped rebuild the city. He worked with Mara and the engineers to repair damage and improve defenses. The people of Verdra began to trust humans more. Mara and Eli spent quiet moments together, talking about what they had seen and hoped for. "I believe we can build a better future," Mara said softly. Eli took her hand. "So do I." The Queen watched their growing bond with hope. She knew the future was still uncertain, but with people like Eli and Mara, she believed peace could last. The weeks after the battle were busy but hopeful. Eli worked closely with the Queen's advisors and engineers. Together, they planned ways to make Verdra stronger and safer. The humans and Veridrans learned from each other every day. Eli often walked with Mara through the city's glowing gardens. They talked about their lives, dreams, and the future. Mara's smile grew brighter, and Eli felt something new in his heart. One day, the Queen invited Eli to a special meeting. She told him the council wanted him to stay on Veridra as an official ambassador from Earth. This would make him a symbol of peace and friendship between their worlds. Eli felt honored but also nervous. "I will do my best, Your Majesty." The Queen smiled kindly. "We need you here, Eli. Your courage and wisdom have brought hope." Eli accepted the role. He knew it meant new responsibilities and challenges. But he also saw a chance to make a real difference. As ambassador, Eli met with leaders from different parts of Veridra. Some were kind and open, others still suspicious. Eli spoke patiently, sharing stories of Earth and the promise of peace. Mara helped him with the language and customs. Together, they worked to build trust across the planet. One evening, during a quiet walk, Mara took Eli's hand. "I am glad you are here," she said softly. Eli looked into her eyes. "I feel the same." Their friendship grew stronger, and a gentle love began between them. They knew their worlds were very different, but they hoped love could bridge the gap. Meanwhile, the Queen faced challenges from within her own court. Some leaders did not want to accept humans or change old ways. They whispered doubts and fears. Leora talked with Eli about these problems. Change is hard, Eli, but with your help, I believe we can move forward. Eli nodded. I will stand with you, Your Majesty. Together, they planned ways to bring peace and unity to Veridra. One day, an urgent message came. A group from another planet threatened to attack Veridra. This new danger was greater than before. The Queen called a council meeting. Eli stood beside her, ready to help. We must prepare, Eli said. But we can face this together. The Queen agreed. With humans and Veridrans united, we are stronger than ever. The story of the alien queen and the human ambassador was far from over, but hope and friendship had taken root, and the future looked bright. The news of the new threat spread quickly across Veridra. The queen called all her leaders and allies together. Eli stood close by, ready to help in any way he could. He knew this fight would be the hardest yet. The enemy was strong and had powerful weapons, but Eli believed that the alliance between humans and Veridrans could make a difference. He worked with the Queen's engineers to improve their defenses and create new strategies. Mara stayed by Eli's side, helping to coordinate the troops and keep spirits high. The bond between them grew stronger every day. They fought not just for their people, but for the future they dreamed of together. When the battle began, the sky filled with ships and bright flashes. The sounds of weapons firing echoed everywhere. The defenders fought bravely, using all the skills and tools they had learned. Eli led teams to protect important locations. He used his quick thinking to guide the defenders away from danger and to strike back at weak points in the enemy lines. Mara fought with courage, inspiring the warriors around her. Together, they helped turn the tide of the battle. The fighting was long and hard, but the defenders never gave up. Slowly, the enemy ships began to retreat. The alliance had held strong. After the battle, the Queen praised Eli and Mara in front of all the people. Your courage and strength saved Veridra once more. The bond between our worlds has never been stronger. Eli felt proud but humble. We fought together. This victory belongs to all of us. Mara smiled and took Eli's hand. Together we are stronger. The Queen looked at them both with hope. She knew the road ahead would still have challenges, but she believed peace and friendship could grow. Eli prepared to return to Earth soon. He had done what he came for and more, but leaving was hard. He had found friends, love, and a new home in a strange world. Before he left, Mara stood with him on a hill overlooking the city. The stars shone bright in the sky. Will you come back? She asked quietly. Eli smiled. Yes, this is only the beginning. The story of the alien queen and the human had changed many lives. It showed that even in the darkest times, courage, friendship, and hope could light the way.